Born to Die could have been a song that was renamed, like, because we did songs like a song called Burying One of Our Own.
Bombfirst.com.
That's a song that I still don't know where it's at. Never heard it since we did it. That song could have been renamed to Born to Die, because nobody knows the titles of these songs if they can't present them to me and let me hear them, and then I could be like, oh yeah, that's Burying One of Our Own, or
Bombfirst.com.
that's Wonty Won't, or that's Wonty Won't. Then they'd be like, oh, okay, let me name it this, just because they heard him say something in that song. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not going to say that Born to Die is a song that don't exist. What I can say is that might be a song that was renamed Born to Die. You see what I'm saying? That was another song with just me and Tupac. That one, I don't know who produced that. It could have been another DJ track, DJ Quick track. It could have been a Dash track. It could have been a Johnny J track, which I do believe it was a Johnny J track. I'm like almost for certain that it was a Johnny J track. Johnny J, you know, rest in peace to the homie too as well. Had a lot of songs with Tupac that nobody heard. One of them I know that Johnny J had with me and Tupac was called West Side. That was another song that I haven't heard surface yet. I don't know when these songs will surface, and when they do surface, I can identify these songs to be like, oh, they named it this, but this song is really named West Side, or they named it this, but this song is really named Burying One of Our Own. You see what I'm saying? It never, to my knowledge, was a plan for Pac to leave Death Row. That's just to my knowledge. I'm saying that that's not true. I'm not saying that it is true. But what I am saying that I did hear and know of definitely is the term, the new and untouchable death row. A lot of people don't really know where that came from. So the new and untouchable death row was really an expansion of death row. And what I mean by that is the homie Eric B from Eric B and Rakim, that's a real close friend of mine, he was going to run Death Row East. That was another part of why they started screaming the new and untouchable Death Row. Now, you had Snoop Dogg, you had MC Hammer, you had Tupac, you had Death Row East, which was going to be ran by Eric B. And then you had Suge himself running Death Row. Each one of those persons were going to put out 5 artists a year through their label. So Snoop was going to have his own label, Pac had his own label, MC Hammer had his own label, and so on. All distributed through Death Row / Interscope or whatever that they were going to run it through. So each artist was going to put out 5 artists a year. That would have been totaling 25 artists coming out through Death Row, whether if it was Machiavelli Records / Death Row / Interscope, or whether it was Snoop Dogg record label / Death Row / Interscope, or however it was supposed to be, MC Hammer / Death Row / Interscope. Each artist was going to put out 5 artists a year, which was adding up to be 25 artists a year. That was going to be ran from the West Coast, put out through Death Row. That's why, and that's where the title came from, the new and untouchable Death Row. But, you know, things, now that was in some of the meetings that we had, and I can confirm that, you know what I'm saying, myself, that that's how the new and untouchable Death Row was going to be presented to the public. So, as far as Pac leaving Death Row, I don't have no knowledge of that. Some people say he was, some people say he wasn't. But all I can speak on is what I know of and what I've heard and what I've seen with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? So